history was made in this last election. And, I think it's an important thing to document. And the history was that a father and son were on the same ballot and both won their individual elections.
It was a big thing for him to see his son come up to the number 2 person of a 565 person agency. And now today we talked about being elected as the sheriff. To him is, I think one of the proudest parts of his life to see his son come from this to the very pinnacle of your career and be the top law enforcement officer for the county. So, I'm happy to see a look on his face now.
And my childhood was vacationing down in the Florida Keys with my parents.
I moved down here in 1976 from New York, lived on Long Island. Came down, was 11 years old, and we packed up the station wagon and moved to the Keys.
Brought my family down here almost 40 years ago now, and that was the best thing I think I ever did.
And it was a great place to grow up. We lived right here by the beach, and I had a lot of people around town that lived in this area, like Biff Goss from Big Time Bait and Tackle. He was my neighbor. Over here, we had the Chaplain boys, Jamie and Steve. So I had a lot of local coach for people in the community who are still here that I grew up together with. And it was a great place growing up here.
And I bought a local business called Surfside Citgo. And in that local business, which I ran successfully for 28 years, by the way, came a training period for the children and for myself. They worked at Surfside. They would pump gas, they would clean restrooms, they would do all of the things to help Dad and Mom. And Surfside became known as a mini town hall. We had every politician in the entire world come by and ask for my support.
And when I was 13, I started working with my father at the gas station, pumping gas. A lot of people who've been in town a long time always say, "I remember you when you used to pump my gas. You could barely reach the gas tank." So we kind of laughed over the years of people that still live here that remember I worked at the gas station.
That's how I really got involved in politics. And, we got so involved in politics that most people forget, but my wife ran for county commission.
And my dad wanted me to take over the gas station, is what he wanted. And I told him I wanted to be a police officer.
And I said, "You got to be kidding me. You're a police officer." I said, "I got a successful business. You're going to make a lot of money. You're not going to get shot at. You're not going to have people yelling at you. You don't have to get up in the middle of the night. You don't want to do that."
But I wanted to be a lawman, and that was what I was focused on.
I thank all of my friends and neighbors, and I want to tell you that as long as I'm alive, I'll keep working for the people of this county and for, as I said, my friends and neighbors, because if I can make their life well and better, that'll reflect and make my own family's life well and better.
Growing here, knowing the needs, knowing the problems, seeing the changes, I think is critical. An outsider coming in would have a hard time trying to grasp and understand Monroe County, incorporated cities, the players, what's happening, what the historical part was, where we've come from, where we're at today, and where we're going tomorrow is really critical.